So kwa hii screen there was Sonko. So Sonko kulikuwa na hii headline. I think this is one of those stories that I really wanted to talk about, but I never talked about hii wiki. If you are to ask me why I didn't talk about this story, I actually don't know. But this is a story I wanted to talk about. Ilikuwa ni the standard devolved corruption, then ikaandika billions looted, services gutted 12 years after devolution's hopeful dawn. County halls have become epicenters of graft. From Okoth Obado's turbulent tenure to Francis Waititu's high-profile trial, a parade of governors past and present stand accused of plundering public coffers. Hospitals without drugs, ghost projects, and unpaid workers now define the devolution story, as the promise of bringing services closer to the people morphs into a feeding trough for the well-connected. Then Sonko akionaga vitu kama hii, of course akabaki amezusha kaandika saa hii ndio nasoma gazeti, hata before nimalize kusoma I can see our standards ni maumbwa sana. Instead of paying their staff salary arrears, wako busy spreading propaganda and misleading the public. My attention has been drawn to the front page headline in today's Standard that drags my name alongside other former governors in an alleged corruption narrative under the banner Devolved Corruption 12 years later. Article 50, Section 2 of the Constitution. I hope you're in Section 2. I mean, you have to... poleni kasi hivyo. Every accused person has a right to a fair trial, which presumes the right to be presumed innocent until the contrary is proved. In other words, every accused person is presumed innocent until proven guilty by a competent court of law. Please be informed that both the Standard newspaper and the public that I have never been convicted of corruption in any court. I have been acquitted in 2 instances due to insufficient evidence. Mr. Sonko, tuparane hapa kwa kona. If you are acquitted because of insufficient evidence, that does not show that you are not corrupt. In this country, if you are rich enough, there's always going to be insufficient evidence. So you should have left that sentence out. Najua. Like, hapa kunaga evidence hapa. When it comes to corrupt motherfuckers, there's no evidence. Ukiiba kuku, if you're a thief wa kuku, there's always evidence. You'll be charged and jailed for 30 years. Yeah. So wacha tuendelee. I was acquitted together with 16 others in a 357 million case for lack of adequate evidence. Skiza. Before Eunice Nyotu, the Chief Magistrate Anti-Corruption Court. I was also acquitted by the Anti-Corruption Court in a 20 million corruption case before Honorable Douglas Ogoti, the Chief Magistrate. However, Justice Sifuna later reversed the acquittal at the High Court, stating that the magistrate mistakenly depended on an amended charge sheet. Nonetheless, the case is still ongoing, and as such, I'll refrain from discussing it here in accordance with the principle of sub judice. But the Standard Githeri Gata Press is still claiming that I'm guilty. Even nimechikio sub judice, nimejua tu ya ikuandikwa na Sonko. Sonko iza jo, nikoshua hii siyo uliandika, but msawako alijichocha, mistake alimake tu niyo kubonga juu ya inadequate evidence. Inadequate evidence in this shithole means that corruption happened. Najua. There's no one. All these people, hakunaga enough evidence. One judge will jail, then the other judge will be like, there's not enough evidence. The use of my image and name in sensational headlines without factual basis is a classic example of poor journalism, screaming for attention without evidence. This is irresponsible reporting that misleads the public and tarnishes reputations without cause. Instead of peddling baseless narratives, the Standard should focus on stories that inspire and unite Kenyans, such as the recent victory by the Harambee Stars, and address its own internal challenges, including the plight of journalists who have reportedly gone for months without pay. Okay, let's talk about that. So the Standard page 1 should be about Harambee Stars, page 2 Harambee Stars, page 3 Harambee Stars. Okay, because that unites us. Okay, but I think we also united in the fight against corruption, because corruption keeps making Kenya the shithole that it is. The only reason Kenya ni nchi kundu ni juu ya corruption. And talking of Harambee Stars, Sonko mwenyewe is on record promising 400 million shillings. There is no one who's earned their own 400 million shillings who would promise it to a team. And this is the reality. If we are to look at all these billionaires tumeona, kina SK Masharia, why are they not promising that 400 million shillings? It's because they've worked for every single cent. the minute you can just wake up and start promising. And that's the reason why nimechoka. Wacha nichukue nije interrupt from history ya Sonko kidogo. Please usiniandikie inbox kiniambia Ruto uuza kuku. Kwenda huko. Nimechoka na hizo inbox za kipumbavu. Pata inbox kaa 10. Msio tengeneza profit ya 1 million every day na kuuza kuku. Wewe uende uuze hiyo kuku tengeneza 1 million. Kwa nini unakaa kuniambia wewe? Unaniudhingi saa zingine jo. Hizo raha zinaingia kwa inbox uniambia Ruto uuza kuku. Hakuna kuku unaweza uza uweze kupatiana that amount of money that Ruto is giving out. No amount of chicken. Alafu as a side hustle, have you dealt with Kenyans? Kenyans still shit. Guy, hii country. Like most companies zimeanguka juu ya nini? Because the staff still. That's why there are cameras everywhere. Look at hizi company wagana store na vitu kama hizo. Kuna kwa gana camera everywhere. So hii ni place gani ya Ruto? Yuko huko wana do politics Nairobi. Watu wako huko wana run mood. Mtu mwingine yuko huko ana try kuona presidential ambitions. But huku kuku azibagui, mayai azibui. Profit inakuja tu ya 1 million every day. So since anatengeneza profit ya 1 million every day, that's the reason why he can be able to give Harambee stars all this money. There's no one who sells that amount of chicken that you can give out like 1 billion shillings. Some say this year peke yake, but like 1 billion shillings. That's taxpayers' money that has been stolen. Yes, is it coming back to the taxpayer? Yes. But is it stolen money? Yes, it's stolen money. No human being on planet Earth who's earned their money would do that. Not Bill Gates, not Elon Musk, not Jeff Bezos. Hao wote ukionaga, when they contribute their money inakuwaga specific causes. Inakuwaga hii ni hii. Hii ni hii. Hii ni hii. History ya kuamka tu leo, nilikuwa nimewapatiaga 1 million per game. Sasa nitawapatia 2.5. Hiyo ni pesa yetu. That's not someone who worked hard for their money. Don't be lied to. Wase wamework hard for their money, unaendago na kaa hivi na billionaire. Raya kupatia hata soko bole jo. Hata songovo ikupati. That's how. How do you stay rich by not spending your money? Anyone who can dish out 400 million on a random weekend stole that money. And that's the president. If alipromisio pesa juu ameiba, the same way umsave alipromisi pesa. Harambee stars ikishinda na umse atoe 400 million. It's not his hard-earned money. It's stolen money. There's no one on planet Earth who can give you 400 million shillings for free. Don't lie to yourself. Let's not be children. Yes. Socha niendele na hii. Usi, tafadhali. This is the last time nataka inbox ya kuku za Ruto. Tafadhali. Jo, nimepata hizo inbox. So many of them. Kiona nimetake... shit. Let me check the last mother. Hakuna hata aja. Ruto uza kuku. Hey, unacheza na kuku. Tuko na kuku hapa nje. Asiuzangu vile unafikiria. Kwa sababu place kaa ocha. Kasi Christmas ama funeral. Utakaa na hizo kuku zako mpaka uamini. Okay. So, wacha tuendelee. It's widely known that the Standard Group is encountering challenges related to delayed or unpaid salaries for both current and former employees who are owed salary arrears and redundancy payments totaling millions of shillings. Additionally, the Standard Group has not fulfilled its obligation to remit necessary deductions from employee paychecks, such as individual income tax payee to the Kenya Revenue Authority. Former employees are unable to obtain tax clearances from KRA, which prevents them from applying for important job opportunities. Furthermore, contributions to the NSSF, NHIF, private pension and SACCO savings have also not been remitted. Let me stop for a second. Back to the chicken people. If you're a Ruto supporter and una believe Ruto uzaga, amekuwa kiuza kuku, and that's the reason why he's making all this money. Tafadhali, if you know a friend who works for KRA, mwambie turushie hizo records za Ruto zile amekuwa kilipa tax over the years, making all this profit of 1 million shillings per day. There has to be tax records to back that up. And as I always say, I'll be the first person to apologize. Ndakama hapa niseme William Samoei Ruto is the best businessman to ever walk on planet Earth. Why? Because he can have a side hustle, making him more money than the presidency. And that's the reason why he loves Kenya so much that he'd rather work for 1 million shillings a month than concentrate on the thing giving him 1 million shillings a day. And don't forget, the 1 million shillings a day ni mayai peke yake. Hatujaenda kwa kuku zenyewe. Halafu after kuku, unajua Ruto ni hustler. Hata zile feathers tu. Unajua zile feathers za kutengeneza nguo. Hizo unajua zile utengeza. Hizo utoka kwa Ruto buda. Yeah, hizo jo. Okay. So for the record, I'll be taking legal action against the Standard for this malicious publication. I want them to show exactly where I was corrupt, how I was corrupt, and when I was convicted for the rest of the story they have named in that story. Mr. Sonko, you live in a glass house. You are one of the luckiest people to walk planet Earth. You have a death certificate. You did not finish your sentence at Shimolatewa. Threatening the Standard, I'm sure they are laughing. And it's laughable that unaweza threaten the Standard. It's laughable. You're the only reason your wealth cannot be explained ati ulikuwa matatu gani hizi. Your wealth cannot be explained. Anyone who can on a random day wake up and say I'm ready to give out 400 million shillings is full of shit. Oh, talking of the president and his chicken, the reason why Uhuru aliamua kubadilisha pesa mpaka ikakuwa tukachange note ilikuwa juu ya Ruto. It's a known story. Ruto had so much cash coming in. I think hizi madeal zake zakina Makimaro, Kimwarer and all that nonsense, they used to go to him. Of course Kimwarer was such a big project. Ile time alikuwa like ilipotea 7 billion peke yake and then he dismissed it. That's the reason. So I don't think mse kama Sonko akibonga juu ya defamation, because these people always talk about they're defaming my character blah blah blah. We have to be realistic. I don't think there's any reasonable Kenyan who looks at Sonko and they're like, damn, this guy is full of blah blah blah. No one thinks about that. So nonsense, yes, he's going to do what. So yeah, and this Ruto chicken farm and these eggs za sugoi sikuhizi kwanza nahitaji proteins. The next time before uniandikie ukiniambia Ruto anatengenezaga nini mayai, ninunulie mayai mingi kabisa, ubaki umeziseti kwa G4S ama Wells Fargo, niambia hizi zimetoka kwa family Ruto, Mwaf enjoy the protein every day, but otherwise do not. I really don't understand this Kenyan what is it called, obsession with protecting politicians. I've never understood it. Ruto is a trillionaire. I'm sure the guys writing to me are not even millionaires. Whom saying a trillionaire? The fact that you feel like you need to defend him says so much about how much you've been brainwashed. That hizo vitu get a lot of those. Mwafu wanafikiria ni mchezo, alikuwa anatekeza profit ya 1 million shillings a day, and saa hiyo there's nothing to back that up. The only way to back that bullshit is through KRA records, and they need to show us this guy has been making. Even right now I'd want to see KRA records that Sugoi farms the last year. Utaona hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Hii pesa yote tunapewa ni taxpayers money, and this is taxpayers money courtesy of inflated budgets. Inflated budgets kama gani? Ulicheki majuzi tumepewa juu ya driving licenses where they literally formed a company called Pesaprint. Kampuni inaitwa Pesaprint. Wewe mwenyewe ushaika chini ukasema leo hii kampuni yangu nitaita nini? Wacha niite Pesaprint. You can never call it that because you're going to have to work for your money. So these people, when they come up with companies like Pesaprint, where driving licenses that were supposed to cost 2 billion end up costing 45 billion, and you're there writing about chicken, it's stupidity. And mainstream media cannot call you stupid, but this is independent media. Tunaweza kuambia acha ujinga. Hakuna mtu anauzaga kuku mingi hivyo. How many Kenyans are buying chicken every day? Chicken is super expensive. Because chicken ya kienyeji, shit. Damn, I think every time mtu buy kienyeji unajipataga na kale kamfupa kaguma. Sema yani kitu ni 1500 la siwezi unatupa hilo kwa kichaka, inasema kwa unainyodho alafu unairusha kwa dustbin, unaiangalia hivi. Karibu hata urudi hapo ilambe mara mbili tena ndio irudishe. Alafu mtu anakudanganya tu wanauza chicken hapa nje. Tuache upumbavu. Sawa, but sawa. Ruto anauza chicken. That's the reason why he can donate 400 million. What's Sonko selling that can make him donate 400 million? And Ruto, I'm still messing up. Kuna mse alikuwa anatry kuni correct nikisema that Ruto alikuwa analipa how much? Was it 42 million? That's the first thing that he did, was release 42 million. So I assumed that every staff member gets 1 million. And after every staff member pate 1 million, that's why ilikuwa hivyo. So the next time that Ruto alibaki juu the draw, I expected alitoa 21 million because that was half of the staff. And watch and try kucheki if I can get that post. But yes, it's very interesting to see how we defend politicians, man. Like, damn. So what did Mr. Hussein Mohammed say? Alisema President William Ruto has fulfilled his commitment to pay 1 million each to all 27 Harambee Stars players and 15 members of the technical bench, a total of 42 million, following the national team's 1-0 win over DRC on Sunday. Sports Ministry officials led by Cabinet Secretary Salim Vuria delivered the funds, and a similar reward awaits the team after Thursday's game against Angola. 42 million, 27 players, 15 staff, 42. Pabam. First day. Second game, half of that, 21 million. 42 plus 21, we get 63 million. Third game, 42 million. We are at 105 million. Pabam, weka 105 million kando. Hii game inakuja Sunday. If Harambee Stars win, it's going to be 42 times 2.5. Simple mathematics. Take the 42 divide by 2, ibaki 21. Rusha 2.5 times 2. 5, 21 times 5, that's 105 million. If they win, he'll have donated 210 million. And then amewambia wakishinda semifinals, he's still going to give them 1 million each. So 205 plus, yani 210. Tulikuwa 210, yes, 105 plus 105. Tulikuwa 210. 210 plus 42. We are at 252 million. Semifinals, do what he's promised them, but let's say semifinal hata wapatia kitu alafu washinde final, ongeza 400 million. What are we looking at? We are looking at 652 million shillings on a random day. And you think that's because of chicken? We mwenyewe, your brain has gone cuckoo. Yes, if you think that money is coming from chicken, you're full of shit. The only chicken it's coming from ni jogo ya KANU, na jogo ya KANU ilikuwa inajulikana for looting. Yes, so I think let's wacha tukue a little bit realistic. And it's so sad that nimeka hapa nikirant nikitry ku explain ya Kenyan that taxpayers' money is stolen every day. The reason we are a shithole country is not because we are not hardworking. A lot of people wake up in the morning and they work their asses off. A lot of people pay their taxes. Don't let anyone lie to you that watu walipagi tax. In this country, food is taxed. I think kuna mtu aliniambia, I think in the EU region, our taxigi food, because inakuwaga like it's a basic commodity, blah blah blah. Kama uko EU, niambie whatever, because EU tax a lot of stuff, but food, I think nasikia wana play safe na hiyo. Wanaacha wase. I think a place like Italy is the country where if you steal food and you can prove that you are hungry, you can't be prosecuted because it's for survival. I think it's something close to that. I don't know how true that is, but I think nishaisikia kitu kama hiyo. But for us to defend someone and claim that they've sold enough chicken to contribute 652 million. 652 million, let's convert that to dollars. That's $5 million. Wewe saizi, mmoja wenyu tu saizi, enda utafute video yoyote ya Jeff Bezos on a random day ametoa $5 million. Ukinionyesha hiyo, ama unionyesha Elon Musk. Elon hata hizi raya zilitoka South Africa, hizi ma two racists kwa tunasema tunadatishwa essay. Show me where one of them ended up. Let's be serious bana. Tukue serious. Like, let's not tusicheze hapa na pesa. Iko Nini. So nimeinterrupt show kukuremind juu ya LemFi, na unajua LemFi inakupatiaga an opportunity especially kwa huko masides za US kubaki umetumia pesa Kenya haraka na usisahau transactions zinakuwaga free. Lakini saizi kitu moja ile nimenotice, kuna wasee wengi sana wale wako states wale wamesign up to LemFi, lakini jo bado hamja transact jo. That first transaction jo baki umeifanya, make sure umetransact at least $100 ndio baki umepata $20 cashback, alafu pia sisi kama IKONINI tubaki tumepata $20 from your deal. Alafu pia usisahau kuwa saa hizi jo LemFi inakupatia an opportunity ya kutuma pesa Kenya, lakini kama uko US and you need support, and pia unaweza baki umetumiwa pesa from Kenya to the US through LemFi. Alafu pia mkiwa masaiti za states na nyinyi wote wawili mko na LemFi, mzabaki umetumia na pesa. Unajua si lazima mtumie ile nyingine siju ya huko. Tumia tu yetu ya mtaa, LemFi to LemFi hapo haraka. Alafu vile pia musemaga siku hizi kuna vile mzabaki umelipa till number na pia mzabaki umelipa pay bill direct. So tuseme you're doing like this construction project and you need to deposit do kwa bank account fulani, na uko na pay bill ama a certain company and you have the pay bill, you can just do that through LemFi. Then upatie raya fulani alafu since uko states ya mwe kucheza jo, so unangoja nini jo? Changamka haraka haraka, baki umefanya that first transaction kutumia LemFi. Usahau ni promo code ni IKONINI. Hiyo promo code ya IKONINI ndio inakupatia $20 cashback on your first transaction. LemFi, international payments for everyone. Wacha turudi kwa show.